to come up with something different. You sure?
We live on Twitch. We got
we
second
live.
to figure. We got a second to figure it out.
Yikes!
Let's think.
I just told you if you would you rather be ugly or would you rather be broke.
But that's not hard. Like, we're men. That's really not a hard thing to. Like, an ugly man with money, like, in the words of one Sean Carter, ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire.
I'm already one of those too, so I try to inverse.
Ooh, this one gonna kill you. This one gonna kill you. Ooh, y'all ready? Are we live? We live already?
We are live.
There is no alternative here. You got to pick one of these options. It got to happen, one way or the other. Would you rather walk in on your parents or have your parents walk in on you? One of them got to happen.
That's tough. That is tough.
Talk to me.
I mean,
that is tough. That's incredibly tough, actually. That's tough.
I'm gonna have to pick walk in on my parents.
Oh, that's why. Ew.
Okay, so for one, I don't like some things just don't bother me. And for some reason, I feel like those are one of those things. Although, like in the moment, of course I wouldn't want to see it, but I feel like long term it wouldn't bother me that much. Like I feel like my brain would like wipe that away at a certain point. While the inverse, I won't air any dirty laundry on the podcast, but I got a couple of adventurous things that I'm into.
Oh, that's tough.
So
you would be okay with finding out your parents are the, because kinks are hereditary. So like, yeah. Whatever it is, you gonna walk in on your parents probably doing the same thing.
Never mind, they can see me then, bro. Never mind. Never mind.
Hey,
you that
Chris,
nasty, bro?
Which one you going with? Which one you going with, Chris? Which one you going with, man?
I'm going walking in my parents for a couple reasons, bro. First reason being, your parents, you got here some kind of way, so it makes sense, And then on top of that, me and my mom was like best friends, like, and it just be like, I open up like, Mom, you nasty, run out the door, close the door. I ain't really about to, like, you not about to go in there and stare and be like, what are y'all? No, I'm gonna go in there and be like, oh no, Mom, close the door real quick. Fast in a hurry. I ain't even gonna think twice about it. And at the end of the day, it's like you got here some kind of way. You feel me? That's how I look at it.
I understand, but me personally, though, they gonna have to walk in on me. They gonna have to walk in on me. Hey, listen, you know what I mean? I know y'all probably seen this tweet going around saying like, enough with self-care. It's time for others' harm. I get to traumatize my pops. Oh yes, give me the opportunity. I need it. Inject it into my veins. Oh my God, bro, what? Now, granted, mom's got to be collateral damage in this, and that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But, it's. I'm definitely gonna be like, hey, like this is, y'all gonna have to walk in on me because I'm not walking in on my parents. That's just gross. That is just. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, and I'm one of those people that like a lot of things in life don't really like bother me like that. But like, my parents act like they hate each other like Optimus Prime and Megatron. So like to see that would like. It wouldn't even be as nasty as it would be upsetting for me.
Right, that's also facts.
Like, Mom, what are you doing? You're better than this. You're better than this. Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? But yeah,
I can get that. My parents got a great relationship, so I feel you. I can get that though, Gibbs, because if my dad wasn't nothing, I'd be like, man.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. My pops is gonna get traumatized. I'm gonna stare at bro too. Why you here? Hey, get out, loser. Get out, you dork. But anyway, yeah. And plus, we got our own cribs now that we adults. So, like, 9 times out of 10 that they walk in on you, like, they walk in on you in your crib. I mean,
right.
They're the worst things in the world. But anywho, enough of that talk. We got a great show for y'all today. We did not get to last week, but don't worry. We got a ton of football to talk about. It is week 2 has just passed. We're getting into week 3. We got a ton of great games to talk about. And boy, when I tell you we are introducing our new segment, Act of the Week and Fact of the Week. We're going to talk about one thing that maybe a lot of people aren't talking about, but we know it to be true. And one thing that a lot of people are believing that we like, whoa. Pump your brakes big time. So that sounds like a good show to y'all.
Sound good to me.
Great show to me.
Oh, and by the way, people are saying Ryan Tannehill, Street saying Ryan Tannehill need his CDL. We're going to get into all that and more on this episode of Facts Over Acts. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the Facts Over Acts crew. We got the master, the mixer master, Josh Guyton in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the melted plan, Chris Allen in the building.
Right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Ken Gibbs. Now, folks, I'm looking at the AFC South, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought in my mind, I thought that this was gonna be a not great division, but it's turning out to look like one of the worst in football. 4 teams out of the AFC South have played 2 games apiece. One of them was against each other. And these teams, 2 of them were against each other. And somehow all 4 of these teams combined for 1 win. I want you to think about how crazy that is. What a statistical anomaly that is, that 4 teams played 2 games, 2 of which were against each other, and yet they only have 1 win because, of course, there was a tie between the Colts and the Texans. So, fellas, what's going on with the AFC South? Who do you think is going to come out and actually win the AFC South here?
I don't want to jump the gun because it's 2 weeks into the season. I started with the Colts and I'm going to finish with the Colts. However, seeing how these teams are performing, I think if they wanted to make a statement, it wouldn't be too outlandish to see Jacksonville make a push towards the top of the division.
Oh, Jacksonville is the only team that won a game so far. So if the season ended today, they would be the champs.
And I think that'd be a big statement, get a confidence. I'll call them young players. I don't see a lot of those young players they have blossoming into something more. But we could be looking at one of those NFC East situations. That was what, 2020, 2019, something like that.
The winner was like 7-9 or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly,
just god awful.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Chris, talk to me about this AFC South, man. What's going on?
So, Gibbs, tell me the teams that played last week for the AFC South. Like, what was the matchups? I can't off the top of my head.
I want to say the Titans played the Bills. I want to say we all saw that last night, just against our will, of course. Nobody chose that. Nobody asked for that, but we had to see it. The Colts played the Jaguars. And the Texans, who did the Texans play? I believe the Texans played the Broncos. The Texans played the Broncos. So those were the matches. And obviously the Jaguars played the Colts. Again, the only team in the division with a win. So,
out of those teams, who's the star player on the teams?
Well, I mean, the Colts, I guess you would probably say Darius Leonard and DeForest Buckner would be the stars. Well, yeah, Jonathan Taylor too. Well, he's the offensive star, but I mean, I don't think anybody would say like he's a better player than Darius Leonard.
No.
There would be some people who argue that. I wouldn't call them smart, but there are people who would argue that. For the Jaguars, who is the Jaguar star player? That's a great question. That's a great. Lord Jesus. That's tough. Because it's not ETN. I wouldn't say Trevor Lawrence. The receiving core is...
It's got to be Josh Allen.
Ooh,
best.
Yeah, Josh Allen. The Texans, I don't know. I'd probably say either...
Damon Pierce is their
Mills or Pierce. I was just about to say Mills or Pierce is probably the guys. Because, I mean, everybody else over there, low hairy. Although I will say this. Desmond King, the corner that they got from the Chargers, not saying this because he's a Detroit guy, but, I mean, he was a Pro Bowler before he got there. He's been good there so far, so I mean, he might be it. And for the Titans, it is obviously Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle, and Derrick Henry. Those are the stars over there.
Okay.
I don't think anybody would argue anything about that.
All right. So you named all those stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones you did name, they're around the same age. They all getting to that point in their career in football where it's like, other than the Jaguars, obviously, because they got a young team.
Right.
But this is the thought process I have for this division, AFC South. None of these teams wanted to go in a full-on rebuild except the Jaguars. And you hear what Guyton take just was. The Jaguars have a chance to win this division.
They do.
This is the importance of really just tanking, go out all out and tanking. The Colts really picked up Matt Ryan like he was the answer to their problems. The Titans let go of every receiver that Tannehill had to throw to, and then they stopped giving their only weapon, Derrick Henry, the ball. Like, I was like, is Derrick Henry hurt? Like, is there a problem with him? Why is he not running the ball 25 times a game?
Yeah. Yeah.
And last but not least, who am I missing? Jags, Colts.
Jags, Colts, Texans, and
Texans.
Yeah,
the
the Texans you mentioned.
Texans, they held on to Deshaun Watson with their life until they absolutely could not keep him anymore. They refused to go into a rebuild as well. And look at their team now.
Damn.
They traded him for a bag of chips and a bag of Skittles.
You know what though? I'm gonna tell you this. I think they got a decent haul back for him. Not the best haul that they could have possibly got. I think they got a decent haul. Not saying it was great. Not
We
saying
talking
it was
about
great.
Deshaun Watson, who's our age, bro.
Yeah, listen. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is not an extremely valuable player. But what he got traded for, I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'm not. 3 straight first-round picks. If you can't pick up nothing that's going to hit with all 3 of them, you might not be about nothing as a team.
I get you, Giz, but we talk about a team that's probably, not going to really see any free agency moves.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. Of course not. No.
So,
no.
I mean, yeah, you're going to be bad for a while.
Yeah, but they got 6 first-round picks over the next 3 years. So it's like, y'all better figure something out.
Well, they're going to get the number 1 pick for sure.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this. When I look at this division, I'm looking at the thing that's killing me about these losses is like we are not the scores don't properly tell how bad these losses are. The Colts have played 2 games. The Colts have played 2 games so far this season. Guess how many points they've scored in the first half of football games this year over 2 games? 3 points.
Okay, they got
They had a field goal.
They got a field goal
in one game. They were shut out last game and put up a field goal in the first game against the mighty Houston Texans. and then
Ryan the Savior.
And then you go look at the Titans. The Titans lost to, and I hate to say this because I know Chris is going to sit up there and have that stupid grin on his face like he was right, the New York Football Giants in game 1.
They 2-0, man. They 2-0.
And the thing is, the Giants are what the Jets were last year. Y'all remember how the Jets started off 2-0 and everybody's like, oh my God, Zach Wilson, oh my God, this team is different. How the Panthers started off 2-0 and everybody's like, hey, you gotta apologize that Darnold is a baller. But this feels like one of those
situations.
I feel like it's exactly the same. I feel like the Giants have played two terrible teams.
And Saquon Barkley on these teams, not Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson. Daniel Jones is a viable quarterback in this.
I'll give you Saquon Barkley because he's running the ball like he's looking for revenge. Saquon,
I said that as part of my reason why I thought the Giants was. I say he's gonna have a comeback year after the injury. I said
Right, I'm not disagreeing with you about Saquon. My problem is in today's NFL, with the way the rules are constructed, you will not win a lot of ball games leaning on just one runner. That is not. It's not logical.
No.
It's not.
But
ain't gonna work out well.
Is a decent. He's a mid-level quarterback. Like if you had to give me 20 quarterbacks, he would be 12 to 15.
I'm gonna tell you this, okay? The Panthers. They have Nebraska's future head coach, Matt Rule, on the sidelines, and he is not doing anything right. Anything. All right, so when you look at the Panthers, when we talk about star players, Chris, who's the Panthers star? Who's the guy that you would say, oh, he's the one that... Christian McCaffrey. How many touches do you think Christian McCaffrey had against this Giants team in the first half? How many would you assume?
He should have had 25, but he probably had 10.
5. He had 5. Five touches in the first half. 5. Again, this Matt Rule is a very unserious joker. He is not serious about this job.
Another team that thought Baker Mayfield was the answer to their problem.
Baker Mayfield, Lord Jesus. Oh my God.
Matt Ryan and Baker Mayfield, 2 teams went all in on.
Honestly, and I got to talk, just a quick little segue. Everybody talks about, Lincoln Riley went from Oklahoma to USC and all the stuff USC gave him. People were like, well, what's his biggest thing? What's his thing that he deserves? I'm a big comic book guy. And in comic books, people do this thing called power scaling, where they're like, oh my God, they did this feat, therefore they are but X amount of power. Okay. Convincing everybody that Baker Mayfield is a number 1 pick is one of the greatest feats we've ever seen in college football. That is crazy. That is nuts. Because what we know now about Baker, oh my God, that is absolute madness, bedlam. But anywho, I think that the Titans are that much more talented than the rest of the teams in the AFC South, that they're going to figure it out and get it turned around. Because just the idea of this Jags team winning this conference, even if this conference is just god-awful, unless Derrick Henry has fallen off the running back cliff, which does happen. We saw it with Todd Gurley. We've seen it before with backs where it's like all of a sudden it's like they forget how to play football one day. Unless that happened to him, I think the Titans have enough to where at some point in time they're going to figure it out and be able to win enough games to win this conference. So, that's just my 2 cents on this conference. But now, talking about the Titans, we got to talk about what a surprise it is that they've looked as bad as they have so far this season. But it's not just them. Which one of these 5 teams has been the most surprising to you so far? The 2-0 Giants, the 2-0 Dolphins, the 0-2 Bengals, the 0-2 Raiders, or the 0-2 Titans?
It's a bit of a split between the Giants and the Bengals, but I'm going to have to go with Cincinnati. To go with Cincinnati because, one, you would think that a team that lost a Super Bowl in a very close Super Bowl, you would think they would come back a lot hungrier this season. They will come back with a vengeance, and they will kind of implement the same game plan that got them to this point. But if you look at the games they've been playing so far, they've been playing like a completely different football team, considering they brought back every key piece that they had from last year's run for the most part.
Hey, do you know the 2 starting quarterbacks they lost to? Mitch Trubisky and Cooper Rush. Hey, I wouldn't even show my face for real.
Hold on, they really lost to the Steelers defense because Trubisky didn't do squat that game.
Don't matter. He was still the starter. He still get a W. He still get a W.
It don't matter. The quarterback, the face of that team, Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman in the Hall of Fame.
They in the hall. They in the hall.
So it's Mitchell Trubisky and the Steelers.
I'm just saying that whether you want to admit it or not, they got what they got to get up out of. Chris, which team is most surprising for you, man?
I'm gonna say the Raiders. Because they picked up a big weapon in Devontae Adams. Derek Carr no longer has any excuses. I'm so tired of everybody telling me how good Derek Carr is, bro. Somebody literally on the game the other day told me that Derek Carr was a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I said, in what NFL? You have at least, like, I would honestly put Derek Carr and Daniel Jones not that far apart.
Yeesh, that's tough. That's honestly,
tough. Up until
cool
last
with
year,
Carr
I was
being-
kind of on the Derek Carr train. I was on the Derek Carr train up until last year.
I would look. He yes, 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards a season. Daniel Jones teeters on that line.
That's tough. That's tough. I'm not sure.
He's throwing to a lot less. He's throwing to a lot less. Daniel Jones.
All right, I'll give you that. That receiver core is god awful. That receiver core is so bad.
And Daniel Jones,
It's disgusting.
I mean, to me, if he had Derek Carr's receiver core, he wouldn't be as bad.
That's fair.
You
have
kind
Derek-
of make a point. If the Giants had that receiving core, when you said they won the NFC East, I probably agree with you.
You know, Deshaun Jackson is
Darren
still
Waller.
taking the tops off teams at like 40, and that's crazy. What is going on? How is that even
You got
possible?
Darren Waller, Devontae Adams over there. That's plenty. That's plenty. That's more than Aaron Rodgers got right now.
Oh, we know. We definitely know. That,
So, I mean-
that man is out there screaming, please help me, please.
I mean, I'm just saying, Derek Carr. I'm waiting on the day Derek Carr really becomes the person that everybody claims that he is. It's really frustrating to see that he is put on this pedestal and he hasn't performed. You know, Stafford got hated in Detroit for years and years and years, and they still hate on him now because he won a Super Bowl. And Derek Carr is put in the limelight. That don't sit right with me. And the Raiders, that team is, from top to bottom, the Raiders probably have the top five team on paper, top to bottom. They got a great defense, great offense. That team on paper is a top 5 team.
I'm going to tell you this. My surprise team so far this year got to be the New York Giants. I mean, when you talk about a team on paper, that is a team that on paper, like, what are you doing? How do you lose to this team? And granted, yes, one of those wins came against the Panthers. Sure, I think the Panthers are going to be drafting very high next year, and they're going to be looking for a new coach. Whatever. Like, that organization is dysfunctional from the owner down. A la what they did with the whole Rock Hill training camp situation. It's a very, very unserious organization. Okay, the Panthers I get, but the Titans. For the Titans to lose that football game, for them to piss down their leg in that game was like, what? And the more important part about them pissing down their leg was the fact that they built up a pretty sizable lead. They went into halftime leading 13-0. And allowed the Giants to come back. For all of the work that Saquon Barkley was doing, he wasn't even able to do his best work when they needed him most because they were trailing. And still, the Giants found a way to win a game. I'm sorry to tell y'all this. I don't believe in Daniel Jones at all. I do not believe in Daniel Jones a little bit.
And that's fine. That's fine.
They said if Young Metro don't trust you, listen, I'm going to shoot you. Bring out the 12 gauge, bring out the AKs, bring out the AR-15, because we need a lot of shots for anybody who thinks that at this point in time,
He hasn't
Daniel
won
Jones is to be
anything.
trusted.
He hasn't won anything. I don't blame you, kids. When I said Saquon gonna be on revenge tour, and I said that the Giants always have that 1 year after a bunch of years of being bad where they a decent team. That's all I said.
And again,
I said the Cowboys is gonna win the division, but
And again, I don't believe that they'll be a good team, but the fact that they've won 2 games in a row with this roster, that's like, you cannot find talent on this roster except in their secondary. I'll give you that.
And it's not even like they squeaked it. They were pretty convincing wins.
I was sitting there like, nobody wants to. Let me tell you, I'm watching the Panthers game, and I'm like giving the rundown to a friend of mine who's a Giants fan. I'm like, because they're in the market to see Washington and the Lions. I'm in the market to see Panthers and the Giants, and I'm like, nobody really wants to win this game. Like, it was very clear that, like, these teams are just out here kind of doing stuff and trying things, and Leonard Williams got hurt, and I'm like, yeah, the Panthers are going to put this one away at some point in time. Hey, Panthers, put it away, bro. What y'all doing? Go put the game away. And they never did. So the Giants, again, I will admit when I'm wrong. If the Giants turn out to win 7 games this year, Chris, I will give you your due. I will give you your due and admit
I think they're gonna.
I was wrong.
6, 7, 8 wins.
6 wins, I could maybe see. But I'm not apologizing if they get anything below 6. Anything below 6, I mean, they're a bad team. What do you want from me?
They're going to be a solid team this year. Not a good team, a solid team.
I hear you. And speaking of, it's always such a great time when you go undefeated, and through week 1 of the Pod Pick'em Challenge, there's only one of us that's 5-0. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top, but here I sit anyway. The 5 games that we picked were the Buffalo Bills versus the Rams, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, Miami and New England, the Chargers versus the Raiders, and Tampa Bay and Dallas. And, again, it's boy, that parlay would have been mighty sweet. Yeah,
the odds. I did the odds for all of our parlays. Josh's was plus 1763, Gibbs's was plus 1659, and mine was plus 1876. I picked a lot of underdogs, but if you put 50 on any of those, that was easy. 2K, easy.
Wow. Look at me, fumbling the bag. Y'all see this? we trying to give y'all money. We trying to get y'all money that we out here scared to make. That's how the Pod Pick'em Challenge is working. But anywho, don't worry. We've got more games on the slate for next week. Next week will be a 3-game slate. We've got Baltimore versus New England, Jacksonville versus San Diego, and Buffalo versus Miami. Fellas, who you got?
I got Baltimore. I'm all in on the Lamar train this season. I fully believe in Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, San Diego. It's gonna sound a little crazy. I'm going with Jacksonville this game.
My Lord. Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? All right. And Buffalo, Miami, who you got?
Going with Buffalo. I think Josh Allen is living up to the hype this season, and I think that Buffalo got to go against a juggernaut before they take a loss.
Okay. All right. Chris, what you got going on, man?
I got New England. Not just because I'm in Boston, but I got New England. I also got San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the boy Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you, I got to say it. And as much as this pains my heart to say, I got to say it. Part of me really wants to go against Lamar. Part of me is tough. It's tough for me to believe that, because it's not, and let me say this, me picking against the Ravens ain't me going against Lamar. That defense is just like, what are y'all doing? What is this? How could you allow this to happen? I really want to go against Lamar, but there's one saving grace. There's one saving grace of why I'm still going to pick the Ravens. The Patriots have Matt Patricia as their offensive coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, it don't matter how bad your defense is, Matt Patricia's going to find a way to make them look good. Give me Baltimore info in that one. San Diego, Jacksonville. I think that San Diego shows Jacksonville what a real organization looks like. And for Buffalo and Miami, I think we're going to be pretty much chalk on that when everybody's taking Buffalo. Josh Allen and them boys going to whoop the wheels off them. They going to scold them Miami Dolphins. And, that's...
Though, Gibbs?
Say what?
The minority coach in Miami, though. What you mean?
Wait, you said what about the new coach in Miami?
The minority coach. He's a minority.
Hey, man, watch out. That man got to pull up a picture. Listen. That man got to pull up a picture of his family tree if he ever get caught saying the N-word. Watch out, bro. Watch out. Watch out. And that's a conversation that we could take off camera, but watch out. All right, I ain't going for it. Okay, that's never mind. I ain't even finna say what I wanted to say because I don't want us to get banned. I don't want us to get banned for nothing. I want us to get canceled for nothing. But yeah. Anywho, fellas, what is your fact of the week? And Chris, I'm gonna let you start since you take it up for your boy. Since you take it up for your boy McDaniels. What is your fact of the week? after the first 2 weeks of the season?
My factor of the week is Josh Allen's the real deal. Last year he fought with Patty Mahomes a lot for, who's gonna be the next best quarterback. I think this year Josh Allen really makes it tough on Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and them boys, man. Josh Allen has been a real, what's the word I'm looking for? Real extraordinary person this year. Like, if you look at the stats, right, you would think that he just been doing stuff against bad teams. But if you look at the ball placement and exactly how he's throwing those balls down the stretch, like over a course of the whole game, it's not many throws that he's thrown off the mark this year. Not many. He remind me of a younger but less mobile Aaron Rodgers. Like the way he's throwing the football right now. And that's when you're in that company, you're in elite company. And for him to be that young doing it already, I don't know. I think Josh Allen's the real deal. I think we got to start taking him serious as a top 5 QB. Seriously.
Okay. All right. Josh, what's your fact of the week?
Mine is that Jalen Hurts is the real deal. I know it's only 2 weeks through, but I think that the Eagles are looking like a serious contender, and I say it because it is. Jalen Hurts hasn't had the best statistics. When you're that young and you have the awareness to control the pace of the game the way that he has on offense, I think that's a really big deal. And I think the accolades and the big stats, I think all of that will come later. But I think right now, I think the Eagles some series over there.
Okay, all right. Mine is Lamar Jackson is going to get mega paid. The Ravens played around, and they, in the words of Moneybag Yo, the price of the brick done went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Okay? Hey, listen, this team, they're going to have to pay Lamar a crazy amount of money, and I say that for this reason. Lamar Jackson is second amongst quarterbacks in rushing yards, right behind Jalen Hurts. However, he has attempted way less attempts than Jalen Hurts. So let's break down and let's get into how good Lamar has been so far this year. Do y'all want to guess how many yards he's averaging per carry?
I want to say 11 or 12.
I'm going to say 19.
9 yards per carry. 9. Every time he puts the ball under his arm, he is 1 yard away from a first down, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? Let's not talk about that because that's not the important part here. The quarterback's got to pass the ball or else he's a running back, He's a running back. That's all he's going to be. That's all he is, right? Well, in terms of total QBR, okay, where do y'all think Lamar ranks in the league at the moment? Now, mind you, this is a scale of 1 to 100, but it's every quarterback, everything they do is taken into consideration. Where do y'all think he ranks in the league right now?
I'll go number 2.
Number 2. Chris, what you got?
4.
Chris was correct. He is number 4 in the NFL right now. Number 4. But you know what? That doesn't really, we don't need to talk about QBR because QBR includes rushing. So we'll talk strictly quarterback rating, which is strictly passing. Do you think he went up or down based on just the passer rating alone?
Up.
Chris, up or down?
I think he went down.
Josh was right on that one. He went up to number 3. I am telling y'all right now, what the Ravens are going to have to pay this man is going to be crazy. Like, this Ravens defense has been out. They've been a different type of world in terms of bad so far. And, we're all just sitting here like, oh, this is completely normal, when it's not. It realistically is not. What they have done this year, it makes no sense that this team.
What I don't understand about this Lamar situation, what more does he have to do? He won an MVP. I get it. He ain't did nothing in the playoffs yet, but you got to give him stuff to do something in the playoffs with.
Do y'all want to guess where the Ravens' defense is ranked in the NFL at the moment? Take a wild guess.
Probably
29th,
30th, 28th.
30th, 28th. Both wrong. Dead last. Dead last in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the case is dismissed. This is not even something. This case is resting more peacefully than a woman who just posted the little doll with the little hair thing going on that posted that meme.
The little Bratz doll.
That is how peacefully this case is resting. You understand? Like, this is what Lamar getting paid should not be a question for anybody. Everybody likes to talk about who does more or less and what teams will be without players. We have seen the Ravens without Lamar in both his rookie season and last year. In both of those situations, the team had a losing record. They won one game last year without him. One. They went 1-4 or 1-3 without him. And then this year, the defense decides, hey, stopping the run is a lot. Okay, great. Can y'all stop the pass? No. Love you. No, we're not doing it. Sorry. Like, and this man is still finding a way to win. Man, I'm telling you, whatever that man wants, if I was him, I would just walk in the negotiations and literally turn on film of the defense. And I wouldn't even talk. I'd just let the film run. And I'd say, did we make the playoffs this year? We did. Oh my God, that's crazy, ain't it? Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Anywho, I'll be expecting $215 million guarantee, or else. Think of how many teams instantly become Super Bowl contenders if they had him on that team.
Dang.
Just think about that for a second.
But I think the Colts would be a prime example. If they
The
had
Colts?
JT.
The Colts, I'm gonna say it. I said it during
Lions.
I said it during week 1 when they
That
were hitting
offensive
soft
line with Lamar. Come on now.
The offensive line, Swift,
yeah,
Jameson
but
Williams,
the
St. Brown.
secondary though.
Listen, the secondary is still bad, but again, going to the Super Bowl ain't just about like how good your team is. It's about being in the right division where you don't get banged up a lot, dealing with a bunch of like really good teams. It's about blowing teams out, having the ability to rest. Look at the NFC North. The Packers are not going to be good for a very long time going forward. Like, that's just the reality. That's the Vikings.
I'll tell you what team. I would tell you what team he would. I was about to say the Vikings. He went to the Vikings.
And that's another
Vikings
team.
will be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
That's another team. But I don't know if the Vikings could afford him, though. I don't know if the Vikings could afford him.
Yeah, because they gave Kirk Cousins all that money. But
that's what I'm saying. But they had to cut Kirk and then figure out a way to rework some contracts to get him.
But if you gave him Justin Jefferson, Thielen, and the other guy, I can't think of his name.
Oh my!
And
God.
you gave him Dalvin Cook.
Lord Jesus.
And you gave him that defense.
Lord Jesus. Whew.
The Vikings is probably the best situation for him.
But again, at the end of the day, if I'm him, I'll walk into the Ravens office and say, "Hey, man, I've been very secretly holding back the fact that like our coach is a mid for years. I've been holding this back for years, and I'm just saying. Fellas, what's your act of the week? What is something that everybody is buying that you just are not in for at all?
My act of the week is that Commanders defense, man.
Woo-wee.
Past 2 years, we've been hearing that Commanders defense get gassed up a lot. And I don't know, when you allow Detroit to put up 36 points, and I love my Lions. When you allow Detroit to put up 36 points,
yeah, you in trouble.
Man.
Yeah.
The defense looking a little funny in the light.
Yeah, very funny in the light. Extremely funny in the light. I'm going to tell you, it's a lot like, and I'm going to say this because Chris is Michigan State guys, a lot like hearing Tuck coming and then see what they did up at Washington. Yeesh.
hey, I need to tell y'all. So I put in a parlay, right? And I was like, bro, my man's called me. He was Michigan State alumni, right? I'm a Wayne State alumni. But I mess with State heavy. My man's called me, bro, bet your house. Bet your house on MSU, bro. They're the underdog. I said, bro, they playing in Washington. Like, why would I bet my house on that? Washington not an easy place. You know, Washington fans are only Washington fans because they live in Washington. Like, I'm like, ain't that smart of a bet? But he like, all right, well, just throw it in your main play for the day. I'm like, all right, man. I only do 2-3 parlays a week now because them long parlays, the bet for $1 trillion, they don't ever hit. And I don't have time to research like I used to. But, you know, I put them in my main play, my 14 pick. I had the Steelers covering +6, which they did. It was a multi-day play, by the way. It was 2 days. I had the Brewers winning in the first 5 innings against the Yankees because the Yankees been struggling, right? Another good pick. I had the Tampa Bay game under, which hit. Then I had the Lions. No, it was a 5-team. I had the Lions game over, like the score. I'm bet over on all Lions games. It hit. And Michigan State plus 3.5. That's all they had to do was lose by 3. Michigan State. I called him back and said, "This my lay, man. I'm putting all trust in Michigan State, right?" So my parlay was done Saturday because Friday the picks hit, but my parlay was done Saturday. But when I found out everything hit on Sunday, I called him back like, "Bro, you owe me 2 racks. You owe me 2 racks."
Hey, listen. I'm glad you ain't listening, bro. Put your house on it. You would have been out here in the cold. You know, it get cold in Boston. It get real cold up there, my boy.
I would have been like, somebody take me in at work.
Hey, now you living up at the job for real, boy. You thought you was living up there for real before. Now you really in there. Josh, let me ask you this, okay? When you looked at what happened in terms of the Commanders' defense, what was the moment where you thought to yourself, like, they really are just not it. This is a bad group. What was the moment?
Oh, it was that DeAndre Swift touchdown. Little 5-yard, out route to the right. DeAndre Swift, he tripped and fell, got up, ran another 20 yards for the touchdown. That Commanders defense was looking like, you play somebody that don't really know how to play Madden, and they don't know how to use your tackles, so they just keep pressing B to try to get the computer tackles. That's what that defense was looking like out there yesterday on Sunday.
That's tough. Well, I'm gonna tell you, my act of the week. I tweeted about this, and I'm going to say this again because a lot of people keep saying, well, it's the Lions. The Lions were going to line at some point in time. We will never truly understand the magnitude of how bad Matt Patricia was. That's the fact that he has another job in NFL has to be the act of the week for me. We looked at Matt Stafford last year go on to win a Super Bowl. But what did we see last night, y'all? Did y'all watch that Eagles and Vikings game?
Oh, I saw it.
Do y'all know? Let me let y'all in on a fun stat from last night. Justin Jefferson had 1 catch when covered by Darius Slay. Darius Slay had 2 interceptions. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Darius Slay caught more passes from Kirk Cousins last night than Justin Jefferson. And Matt Patricia told him, and I quote, "You're not elite. You're not an elite guy. You're good, but you're not elite." I hate it here. I want Matt Patricia arrested for his crimes. And I don't want him arrested on a misdemeanor where he get a little bit of time in jail. He got to eat that terrible sandwich with the little cutie oranges or whatever. I don't want that. I want prison for this man. Send him up to Jackson. Send him up to Jackson for a minute. He needs to be in prison. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. None. That's my act of the week. Matt Patricia getting another job in the NFL is my act of the week. And we're going to end this thing talking a little bit of basketball. The NBA ranked 2022 top 100 players, 100 through 26 was revealed. Fellas, tell me what players y'all feel like were particularly troublesome when you looked at where they were ranked, and what players you thought to yourself, this is just about right.
Let me go ahead and go down.
So Russell Westbrook shocked me a lot, okay? Him and Ben Simmons was my most shocked pieces. Ben Simmons went from a 26 last year to 78. He didn't play a game of basketball. You know how bad you gotta be to drop 50 to 60 ranks and you didn't play a game of basketball? Do you know how sorry the media has to think you are for you to drop 50 ranks?
That's fair.
And Russ, you were an MVP not too long ago. You are not even a top 50 player in the NBA anymore? They got to stop doing these lists, man. They got to stop doing these lists.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go in the exact opposite direction. I'm surprised Ben Simmons was on there. I'm surprised. I'm not even Very
Like
serious.
they got rookies ranked higher than Ben Simmons, bro.
And this is what, and that was the other part of where I was gonna go with this. Ben Simmons and the rookies being on there is like, what are y'all doing? What are you all doing? Just saying, assuming like, hey, these guys are gonna be really, really good. Like the fact that Ben Simmons is on this list. When's the last time we saw Ben Simmons play basketball? Very seriously, when's the last time?
2021.
Interesting. This man ain't played ball in what is going to be over a year coming into this season. This man ain't played ball in forever and a day, and they're just like, he's so talented. He'll still be one of the 100 best players in the league. Y'all didn't see the last thing we saw from him.
My argument is this: Jamal Murray's 50 on this list, right? He didn't play last year because of injury.
Right. I'm more okay with that than a player who like, oh, it's mental reasons why he's not playing.
But would you say Jamal Murray's better than Ben Simmons?
Yes. 100%.
Like it's not close?
I don't have to think twice about that. Let me tell you why I don't have to think twice about that, right? If you include and factor in injuries, then I think that they're about the same player in that I think that Ben Simmons can give you more. Like if it was 2K and I had to pick one of them, I'm picking Ben Simmons all day, every day because I know that I can control him and make him give effort. Real world don't work like that. Jamal Murray, for all of his faults, shortcomings, whatever, his injury history, all that, you know that when he's on that court, you're going to get everything out of him. You're going to get everything. There will never be a moment where our last standing memory of Jamal Murray is having a blunder as bad as passing the ball to Matisse Thybulle when there is a 5'10" lollipop with hair on it under the rim. There will never be a moment.
Well, Jamal Murray is a scoring machine, but Ben Simmons is a defensive machine. Jamal Murray will hurt you on defense. So, I don't know. It's close to me. I would go Ben Simmons. Okay, but here goes another one. Gibbs. This one was a little surprising to me, you know. Hold on. I'm scrolling back to it. Sorry. Zion Williamson. He was 23 last year. He's 40 this year. It's been over this is the comments. It's been over 500 days since we've seen Zion Williamson play.
He's another one.
Basketball game.
He's another one. He's right up there with the rookies and Ben Simmons to me. We can all pretend like, he's good now and he's healthy now and all these good things. Okay, good for y'all.
Would you say he's light years? Do you say he's light years ahead of Ben Simmons? Because they got Ben Simmons 76, they got him 40.
I think he's better than Ben Simmons. I think that going forward he'll be better.
That, but I don't know light years ranks. 36 ranks ahead of Ben Simmons?
But mind you, these are the top 100 players in the NBA. Like the difference between the 30 guys on this list is not like an astronomical, this is a whole world of difference type of guy.
I don't know, bro. I don't see a world where they 36 ranks apart, bro. Even that being said, I understand what you're saying, but I don't see a world where they 36 ranks apart, bro. That is ridiculous.
I was just about to bring up Zion is ahead of DeJounte Murray after the season he had last year. It's
that's
42.
Tough. Now that's crazy.
42 is way too low for DeJounte Murray.
That's crazy. And he didn't have no help on that Spurs team.
At all.
He didn't have no help on that Spurs team.
And then what I really don't like, they got Scotty Barnes at number 39. He shouldn't have even won the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, he should have been third if you want to be real.
They got Cade higher than him.
I mean, because he is.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he shouldn't even won a Rookie of the Year, and you got him that high. Yeah. And then another one that I just didn't think made any sense at all. I get it. They got Kyrie at 33, but ain't no way you got Andrew Maple Jordan Wiggins at 32. Ain't no way. I don't care if Kyrie only played 10 games last year, and he almost did. Ain't no way you putting Wiggins over Kyrie. Ain't a world where
after that finals.
Again, if this is 2K and I can make sure that Kyrie does what he needs to do to play, yeah, I'm taking Kyrie over Wiggins. In real life,
I'm saying if we playing 2K, are you simulating or are you playing the games?
Playing the games.
I'm taking Wiggins.
Really?
Well, short people cannot hoop on 2K.
I mean, that's fair.
Kyrie.
That's fair, but
bro, what's the two things on 2K that just you always gonna be able to do it. You can ball, dunk,
Dribble
and
cheese.
shoot.
Dunk it. I was just about to say, dunk it in 3-point shoot.
You can
Dribble
dribble
cheese.
cheese all you want to in a play now game. Kyrie go to the rack. I'm sending that.
You can't dribble cheese no more on the new one. You try it if you want to. You're done for.
You know, the YouTubers figure out a way. I mean, 2K.
Yeah, just terrible. Just play basketball. Just stop it. God, it's so awful.
Why we got Shea at 48?
Well, where do you think he belongs?
They got him behind Sabonis. I'm putting him ahead of Sabonis. They got him behind Garland. I'm putting him ahead of Garland.
I definitely put him ahead of Garland. I thought the same thing too.
No,
they got him behind
that's a
Draymond.
crazy
As
one.
much as I love Draymond, I think Draymond is very important to that Golden State system. I'm probably putting Shea ahead of Draymond as an individual
That's
player.
tough.
Listen,
That's
Shea
tough.
is one thing. Shea is one thing. Pascal Siakam's number 30.
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, no.
He's number 30.
No, this
bro.
list is a
He's
violation.
Top 30. He's
this
top
list
30.
is a violation. See, no, somebody got to go to jail off this list too.
That
they got to
man
go to the same
double
one.
X every time he goes to the rack.
Ooh-wee. Boy, that little spin move, Pascal, if you don't come up with another move.
They got DeAndre
God.
Ayton and Jared Allen ahead of Jaren Jackson Jr.
I mean, honestly,
If it's based off last season,
honestly,
Yeah, I still would. The Suns was number 1 seed.
I'm not-
A lot of Ayton in the regular season.
Hey, Josh, I'm not sure. I'm not
Hey,
sure.
Jared
It's
Allen
based
was the
off
reason why the
last
Cavs had successful, man.
My only reason why I'm kind of okay with that for Jared Jackson Jr. is because when Ja went down, that was his time to show up. That was his time to show and prove and and I know that he was just coming off injury as well. I know that he was coming off his situation with injury as well. But that was your time to say you know what? I'm gonna show y'all I'm a legit Robin. This is not
right.
And don't get me wrong, a shot blocker as prolific as him, to ask him to also do things on the offensive end, I know that's asking for a lot, especially when we look at Rudy Gobert. Don't ask for a lick of nothing on offense. But if we're talking in this type of rank, I don't know. It's tough.
and I got one more. I think 68 too low for Desmond Bain.
I agree.
I mean, he shot he scored 18 a game last season. 56%?
I think he's gonna be the 3-and-D guy of the future. I think he's
I'm
gonna
glad
be the
you
3-and-D
got
guy
one
of the
more
future.
guy, because I got to get this one out. Drew Holiday he's the top of this 26 through 100 at 26.
Mm-hmm.
After his playoff performance when they lost to the Celtics, he needs to be below 30 at least. At least below
Jesus
30.
Christ.
I mean, if you putting, I like Drew Holiday, but if you putting Drew Holiday that high, then we need to have a conversation about Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart is below 30.
Yeah, Marcus
my.
Smart is Marcus Smart is
He's 34,
low.
I think. He's 34.
Eesh.
And I think Marcus Smart did a lot better in the playoffs than Drew Holiday.
That's a legitimate conversation to have. That's a very legitimate conversation to have. But again, for me personally, all these players that ain't played a lick in over a year, bro, what are you doing?
Bro, 500 days since
500
basketball,
days.
bro. Like people don't realize they just gave this man $224 million, $198 million guaranteed.
A child
hasn't
who was
played.
born. A child who was born on the day that Zion last played would be walking now. That's crazy.
I mean, think about where y'all was at 500 days ago.
That's crazy.
Bro,
Boy.
I wasn't even in
Boy.
Massachusetts, I don't think.
Boy.
I think I had just moved to Massachusetts.
500 days ago. Oh my God. 500 days ago. I can't even my life was so different. My life was so different.
500 days ago, I was in a relationship.
Whew. Wait. You were married.
500 days ago.
You were married. Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus.
Guy ain't done been through a divorce and got his own place.
Lord Jesus.
Zion
Almost
played.
2 times over. I'm about to be
2
in another
times
crib
over.
in 2 weeks.
2 times over. And you know what's not happening within 2 weeks? Zion playing the NBA basketball game.
Bro, if bro sit out the preseason, I might lose it. This year, Zion, you actually have to hoop in the preseason.
Ain't no way he sits out the preseason. Ain't no
You
way.
have to at least hoop the first half of the preseason.
Ain't no way he sits out the preseason. Ain't no way. You're looking at a playoff team that was a contender last year that pushed the team that went to the conference finals like deep. Like they pushed that team. They pushed them. If you don't have him out there playing and saying, "Hey, big dog, you got to get your lab legs under you. We need to see you in real game time." Man, I'll tell you what. You are asking. For a situation of failure. But anywho, I know y'all tired of us talking about the top 100 and which teams are surprising and Ryan Tannehill very possibly needing to get a job at FedEx pretty soon here. But come on back next week and the week after that and the week after that. Peace and love, y'all.